Good morning, everyone. Can you all hear me? Please put your hand up if you can't at some stage. I'm going to go through this fairly quickly because we've combined two talks. So I'm going to be just doing an update of IPWSO and what is it all about. It's the International Prader-Willi Syndrome Organisation. It's been, It's been formed since 1991. And it was formed after the first international conference that was held in the Netherlands, and it was based in Sweden with 22 national countries. And then in 2007 there were 79 member countries, and then 2015 we now have 104, which includes several of the Latin American countries, which is absolutely fabulous, especially Cuba, which is quite difficult to get into. There's a board of directors and officers. There are 10 directors and 2 officers. We have a clinical and advisory board with 10 people. And in 2007, the Professional Providers of Care Board was established, and this has 8 members as well. This is an extremely important board. It was the foresight and dream of Pam Ison, who was a past president, who some of you will know, lovely lady. And this was her dream, to get the caregivers together to have caregiver conferences. And in 2012, I was asked to establish FamCare, which I'll speak about a little later. The IPWSO mission is to improve the quality of life for all people with Prader-Willi syndrome, to foster the foundation and development of new PWS associations, and this is an extremely important role. And we talk about funding, and yes, all groups need funding, but without IPWSO, a lot of people would not be diagnosed. We do free diagnoses in the Barasciotti Institute for Rare Disorders in Italy, and we provide education and support on PWS around the world, providing through international conferences. We get the scientists together as well as the parents and the caregivers. And it's they're brilliant conferences. If you ever get the chance to go to them, they're like this but on a larger scale, and it's a great way to network. At the moment there are 34 member country delegates, and by country members, I should say, of IPWSO, and what that means is they have a parent delegate and a professional delegate. They pay dues, and the dues are on a sliding scale, so it's anything from $50 to $1,000 per year. And we now have caregiver delegates, which we are trying to encourage from all countries. Now, the associate member countries are basically based on someone in a country that do not have a parent body. Now, the associations are basically parent bodies with professionals added on. But the associate members have someone who is a contact for that country. They don't pay dues, they don't have voting rights. Each of the member countries have one voting right per conference, per AGM, which is every 3 years. But the associate members countries are extremely important because they spread the news, and most of those delegates are professionals. So it's somebody just interested. Now, we have recently introduced Friends of IPWSO. So these are for individuals and looking at hopefully retired people or grandparents or somebody who's philanthropic to belong to IPWSO and to contribute. It's €30 to be a member. They receive all the information. They don't have voting rights, but it's to help keep IPWSO afloat. We have a fabulous website now. It's just been revamped, and on the website you'll see lots of information for parents, for professionals, for caregivers. Articles are reviewed before they go onto the website by our scientific board. The medical alerts booklet, which you all have in your bag, has now been translated into 15 different languages. We have blogger feeds with Linda Thornton, which are absolutely fantastic. So it's a great way to get information and just to talk to somebody. Linda is a parent. I should have explained that IPWSO is made up of parents and professionals, and up until recently, the president of IPWSO was always a parent. You'll find the conference notifications. There are always summaries from the conference, and there are often presentations. There are now presentations on the website from the last Irish conference, which was last year. Lots of contacts, and of course we ask for donations. Why do we ask for donations? Because there are so many poor countries out there that don't have anyone working for them for PWS and don't have very little knowledge on PWS. And I'm talking especially now about Latin America, parts of Africa. We now have Rwanda as a member, which is fabulous, and Cuba. So I know we're all wanting donations for our associations, but please don't forget IPWSO, because they really do tremendous work, and they're all volunteers, the part-time officers. Okay, so the next international conference is going to be held next year in Canada on the 20th to the 24th of July. Great conference to attend. They're running a competition where you nominate a champion person who does a lot of work for PWS, or if you raise $500 for your organisation or for IPWSO, you all go into a draw and there'll be a trip for two fully paid to the conference. So that's all on the website as well. And now to announce the latest innovation from IPWSO, and that is the Prader-Willi World app. Now, unfortunately, it's only for Androids, but it is a fantastic app. It gives you information about other people, well, it gives you, tells you where other people with PWS are in the world. So obviously that means you pop your details on. It's just initials and age, no date of birth, so there's no identifying features. It has loads of information. It has the FamCare articles on it. It has medical alert. It also has a way for you to track your child's weight and height. So it's in a snapshot, you can take that to the doctor, any doctor that you go to, and say, look, especially for growth hormone, to tracking weight, and information. You can give them information immediately about Prader-Willi syndrome. Now, I'm told that if you scan your phones up, sorry, only Androids, it will take you immediately to the PW World Play Store. So if you want to do that very quickly. The iPhone app is coming, but it's not here yet. I might come back to that one. Okay. All right, while you're scanning very quickly, supposedly this works. I'll talk to you briefly about FamCare. Okay, FamCare is a committee that was established, well, we sort of started in 2012, but really got on the road about 2013. I was asked to set up FamCare because I work with adults and because adults are living much longer now with PWS. FamCare is basically, it's for all adults, but it's basically for families who have their adult with Prader-Willi syndrome still living with them in the home. We talk about PWS group homes or even just out-of-home residential care. That's a luxury, and it doesn't exist in most countries. It certainly does exist in the US, and in the UK there are limited numbers. In Europe there are limited ones. Even just any sort of residential care is limited in many countries. Thanks, Anne. Okay, so FamCare consists of a committee of parents and professionals from around the world. We have a group of advisors of also parents and professionals from around the world. We're an international committee. In 2012, in November, we sent out a survey via the IPWSO website and all the national websites, asking 18 questions about demographics, and it was in English, Italian, German, Spanish, and Arabic. Unfortunately, we only received back 127 surveys that we could actually use because it was to deal with adults or children over the age of 18 or 18 plus. So we looked at age, family status, out-of-home participation, PWS traits, impact on siblings, strategies, and how might FamCare assist. The average age that we got back was 27, very evenly split, 64 male, female, 63 male. And 73% were still living with their parents. Some attended a day program. 68%, which I was happy about, all participated in physical activity. We asked for parents to rate the presence of certain PWS traits, and I'll just go straight to the graph. And what we got back, the most common traits that were seen were perseverance, then skin picking, and then arguing, and then a slowness to change. So based on these most common traits, we started writing articles. We also asked what were the most stressful traits that parents had to deal with, and this is the list of them here. Food-related, yes. Arguing, anger, temper tantrums, inability to cope with change kept coming up all the time, and skin picking and perseveration. The most difficult traits to manage, very similar. We asked about the impact on siblings, and that was a massive range. The bottom line is we saw very negative responses from frustrations and lack of attention and really being affected, moving away from the home, moving away from their sibling with PWS, to being very involved and loving and a very much part of that person with PWS's life. So it was interesting. Successful strategies, this was from parents' point of view. There were lots. Some said none. Some said they lock them in a room when they're misbehaving. It was very interesting. We had lots of unusual management strategies, to say the least. But the most common one was to remain patient and calm. And I think we all know that that works best with people with PWS of any age. Families' desires, residential services was the big one. More professional knowing about PWS, so information for them, support for families, improved government awareness and support as well. We now have 7 articles. They're all in Italian, most are in Spanish. They will all be in German next week. And the latest one we did was I Want the Same, and you'll see a copy of these in your booklet. So our plans for the future are to have, to promote more parent to FamCare communication. We have an email, more parent-to-parent support, and you can find us via these emails, through IPWSO, through the FamCare email, and that's it. Thank you.